You are about to uncover the game-changing truth about relationships. Truths that most men go their entire lives without knowing. By the time you finish this video, you'll not only understand what's been holding you back, but also learn how to take charge, avoid the common traps, and build connections that are as fulfilling as they are authentic. Picture this. This is you, standing at a crossroads in your relationship. You've given your time, your energy, maybe even a piece of yourself. And yet, something feels off. The balance isn't there, and deep down, you know it. Now imagine having the tools to flip the script, to stop sacrificing your happiness and start building a relationship on your terms. What would that feel like? If you're ready to transform the way you navigate love, you're in the right place. Together, we'll explore 9 things a man should not do with women. A guide rooted in timeless wisdom, modern psychology, and the lessons life has taught us. These principles won't just change how you approach relationships, they'll redefine how you see yourself. Let's start with the question, why do so many men feel lost in relationships? The answer is simple. Because we're often taught to give more than we take, to ignore red flags, or to prioritize someone else's needs over our own. And while sacrifice is a part of love, losing yourself in the process is not. Here's the good news. You can regain control. Relationships should enhance your life, not drain it. So let's break the cycle and dive into the first principle that can reshape how you approach love and connection. Point 1. Don't sacrifice your identity. Picture this. You meet someone who feels like a dream come true. Conversations flow effortlessly, the chemistry is undeniable, and you're convinced she's the one. Slowly, without realizing it, you start making tiny compromises. Maybe you skip your workouts to spend more time with her. You stop pursuing hobbies you once loved. Before long, you're reshaping your entire life to fit hers, thinking this is what love is supposed to be. Here's the wake-up call. Sacrificing your identity is not love, it's a slow erosion of who you are. And here's the kicker. The very things that made her attracted to you in the first place, your passions, confidence, and independence, start to fade away. When you lose yourself, you lose the foundation of a truly fulfilling relationship. The psychology behind it. Research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows that people who maintain individuality in relationships experience greater mutual respect and long-term satisfaction. Why? Because authenticity is magnetic. It fosters admiration, trust, and balance. Action steps to reclaim yourself. Define your core values. Write down the non-negotiables in your life, your passions, goals, and beliefs. These are the essence of who you are. Audit your life. Ask yourself, am I still pursuing the things that bring me joy, or am I constantly prioritizing someone else's needs? Create non-negotiable time for yourself. Commit to at least one solo activity each week. Whether it's going to the gym, reading, or hanging out with friends, these moments remind you of your individuality. Remember, a strong relationship doesn't require you to lose yourself. It celebrates the person you already are. Point 2. Don't ignore red flags. Now let's talk about those uneasy feelings that creep up, the ones you try to brush off. Maybe she dismisses your opinions or constantly blames others for her problems. Perhaps she doesn't have meaningful friendships or struggles to handle stress. You notice these red flags, but then you convince yourself she'll grow out of it, or worse, it's probably not a big deal. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. Red flags don't fade, they multiply. Ignoring them doesn't make you more understanding, it makes you more vulnerable. A healthy relationship is built on emotional stability, accountability, and mutual respect. Without those, you're setting yourself up for frustration, heartbreak, or worse. How to spot red flags early. Evaluate her relationships. Ask about her friendships and family connections. A lack of meaningful relationships often points to unresolved emotional issues. Watch how she handles stress. Does she lash out, withdraw, or play the victim? Stress reveals a person's true character, and patterns of destructive behavior won't disappear on their own. How to address red flags. When you notice a red flag, don't ignore it. Address it calmly and directly. For example, I've noticed you tend to get really upset when we disagree. Can we talk about what's causing that? If she's willing to have an open conversation and work on things, great. But if she deflects or refuses to engage, it's a sign that the relationship may not be worth pursuing. Remember, It's better to walk away early than to stay and regret it later. Point 3. Don't overinvest too early. We've all heard the advice, actions speak louder than words. But when it comes to relationships, here's the golden rule. Don't let your actions scream before her words whisper. Over-investing emotionally, financially, or even with your time in the early stages of a relationship often creates an imbalance. It signals that your resources are limitless, and worse, that your self-worth hinges on her approval. Think about it. When you overgive before trust is established, you set a dangerous precedent. It creates expectations that you'll always prioritize her needs above your own. Over time, this imbalance erodes respect and can leave you feeling drained or even resentful. A study from the University of Toronto found that relationships thrive when there's a healthy give-and-take dynamic. Partners who feel equal levels of investment are more likely to trust and respect each other. Conversely, when one person consistently gives more, it creates a power imbalance that undermines long-term success. How to avoid overinvesting? Pace yourself. Build trust gradually. Before committing significant time, energy, or resources, ensure the relationship is reciprocating your efforts. Follow the rule of reciprocity. If you're consistently giving more than you're receiving, it's a red flag. Step back and reassess your level of investment. Value your time. Treat your time like a currency. Spend it wisely and don't give it away without ensuring the relationship is worth the investment. A quick litmus test. Ask yourself, am I the only one initiating plans, giving gifts, or making sacrifices? Or is she meeting me halfway? Balance is key. And if it's missing, it's time to reevaluate. These 3 principles, maintaining your identity, recognizing red flags, and pacing your investment, are the foundation of building healthy, fulfilling relationships. But we're just getting started. In the next section, we'll tackle the critical mistakes that can drain your happiness, damage your mental health, and even isolate you from your loved ones. Before we move on, take a moment to reflect. Which of these principles speaks to you the most? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. We're building a community of men who are reclaiming their power in relationships. And if you're finding value in these insights, show some love by liking this video and subscribing. The journey to better relationships and a better you continues. Stay tuned. The best is yet to come. Point 4. Don't compromise your mental health. Imagine this. You're constantly walking on eggshells, afraid that one wrong word or action might spark an argument. You find yourself exhausted, mentally drained, and questioning why your happiness seems to have taken a back seat. Here's the truth. Compromising your mental health for someone else is like draining your own lifeblood to keep someone else afloat. It's unsustainable, destructive, and leaves you feeling like a shell of your former self. Relationships are meant to uplift you, not weigh you down. The hidden cost of neglecting your mental health. Studies from the American Psychological Association reveal that individuals in emotionally taxing relationships are more likely to experience anxiety, depression, and even physical health issues like weakened immunity. Your mind is your most valuable asset. When you sacrifice it, everything else begins to crumble. Signs you're compromising your mental health. Constant tension. Do you feel like you're always on edge, anticipating conflict? Emotional exhaustion. Do you frequently feel drained or overwhelmed after spending time together? Loss of joy. Are you neglecting the activities and relationships that once brought you happiness? How to protect your peace. Set boundaries. Be clear about what you're willing to tolerate. If her behavior consistently leaves you feeling upset or anxious, have an honest conversation about your limits. Prioritize self-care. Incorporate activities that restore your energy, whether it's exercising, meditating, or simply spending time alone. Know when to walk away. If the relationship consistently harms your mental well-being, it's time to choose yourself over the toxicity. Your peace is non-negotiable. Point 5. Don't push away friends and family. Let's paint a picture. You're so enamored with your partner that you start canceling plans with friends, skipping family events, and prioritizing your relationship above everything else. At first, it feels natural. Love has a way of making you want to spend all your time with that one person. But before long, you realize you've isolated yourself from the very people who've been your rock through thick and thin. Here's the hard reality. Pushing away your friends and family for a relationship isn't just a mistake. It's self-sabotage. Your social circle is your safety net, your foundation, and the support system that keeps you grounded. Losing that for the sake of one person can leave you vulnerable and alone when you need them most. Why your support system matters. Research from Harvard University's famous 80-year study on happiness reveals that strong relationships with friends and family are one of the greatest predictors of long-term well-being. Romantic relationships come and go, but your support system is what carries you through life's highs and lows. How to stay connected. Balance your time. Dedicate specific days to spending time with friends or family, even if it's just a phone call or a quick coffee. Communicate your priorities. Let your partner know that your loved ones are an important part of your life. A healthy relationship won't ask you to choose between them. Reconnect before it's too late. If you've already drifted apart from your circle, take the initiative to rebuild those bridges. Start small. Send a message, plan a catch-up, or express gratitude for their presence in your life. A quick check-in. Ask yourself, if this relationship ended tomorrow, would I still have the people who matter most to me? If the answer is no, it's time to reevaluate how you're prioritizing your connections. Point 6. Don't be controlled by the fear of solitude. Let's face it, the thought of being alone can be terrifying. Society often makes us feel like solitude is a failure, as if not being in a relationship somehow diminishes your worth. But here's the truth. Fearing solitude is one of the most dangerous traps you can fall into. It leads to settling for less, tolerating mistreatment, and staying in relationships that drain you simply because you're scared of being alone. The power of embracing solitude. What if, instead of fearing solitude, you saw it as an opportunity? A chance to reconnect with yourself, rediscover your passions, and rebuild your confidence? Studies from the University of California show that people who are comfortable being alone tend to have higher self-esteem and make better long-term relationship choices. Why? Because they're not seeking a partner to fill a void. They're looking for someone who complements their already fulfilling life. How to embrace solitude. Reframe your mindset. Start viewing solitude as a gift, not a punishment. It's a time to focus on your growth, your goals, and your happiness. Create a vision for your life. Spend time mapping out your personal aspirations, independent of a romantic relationship. What do you want to achieve? Who do you want to become? Build a life you love. Fill your days with activities and connections that bring you joy, so you're not relying on a relationship for happiness. A liberating truth. When you stop fearing solitude, you stop tolerating less than you deserve. You become a man who chooses relationships based on compatibility and respect, not desperation. These principles, protecting your mental health, cherishing your support system, and overcoming the fear of solitude, are the keys to building resilience and self-respect. But we're not done yet. In the next section, we'll explore how to avoid common pitfalls like oversharing your past and chasing validation, and how these subtle shifts can redefine your relationships. Before we continue, I want to hear from you. Have you ever struggled with these challenges? Which one are you ready to tackle today? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's start a conversation. If this video has resonated with you so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. The journey to healthier, happier relationships is just beginning, and I promise the best is yet to come. Stay tuned. Point 7. Don't reveal too much too soon. Imagine meeting someone and feeling an instant connection. The conversation flows and you think, this might be it. Before you know it, you're sharing your deepest fears, past heartbreaks, and everything you've kept bottled up for years. It feels liberating in the moment, but over time you realize you've handed over too much of yourself too soon. Here's the reality. Oversharing doesn't build trust, it erodes mystery. While vulnerability is an important part of intimacy, it must come gradually. Revealing everything about your past, especially the challenges, can make you appear emotionally dependent or even push her away. Trust is built step by step, not in a single conversation. The psychology behind oversharing. A study in the journal Social Psychological and Personality Science found that relationships progress more positively when self-disclosure happens gradually. Rushing to share personal struggles or traumas can overwhelm the other person and disrupt the natural rhythm of connection. How to practice controlled vulnerability. Pace your stories. Save your most personal experiences for when trust and emotional intimacy are firmly established. Focus on the present. Early in a relationship, talk about your goals, passions, and what excites you now. Let her see the man you've become, not just the struggles you've overcome. Be selective. Not everyone deserves to hear your full story. Share with people who've earned your trust, not just those who ask for it. A simple rule. Ask yourself, would I feel comfortable if this information were used against me? If the answer is no, keep it private until the relationship has deepened. Point 8. Don't chase validation. Think about the last time you felt the need to impress someone, whether it was through an expensive gift, constant compliments, or bending over backward to make them happy. At first, it feels good to be appreciated, but over time, you start to notice a pattern. The more you chase validation, the less you get it. Here's why. Seeking approval shifts the power dynamic. It tells the other person that their opinion of you matters more than your own. Over time, this erodes your confidence and creates a dynamic where you're always chasing, and she's always withdrawing. Research from the University of Cambridge shows that people are most attracted to partners who exude self-assurance and independence. Confidence, not constant validation, is what draws people in and keeps relationships balanced. How to stop chasing approval. Validate yourself first. Celebrate your achievements privately. Recognize your worth without needing someone else's affirmation. Set boundaries. If you find yourself overextending, take a step back and ask, am I doing this for them or for me? Redirect your energy. Focus on personal growth, whether it's a new skill, fitness goal, or passion project that boosts your confidence from within. A powerful shift. When you stop seeking approval, something magical happens. The dynamic flips. People are naturally drawn to those who respect themselves. And don't rely on external validation. Point 9. Don't rush to make major life decisions. Picture this. You've been dating someone for a few months and everything feels perfect. You start to wonder, what's next? Should we move in? Should we talk about marriage? The excitement of a new relationship can cloud your judgment, making you rush into decisions without fully understanding their impact. Here's the truth. Major life decisions, like moving in together, getting married, or merging finances, should never be made on impulse. These choices reveal a person's habits, values, and compatibility in ways dating alone cannot. Rushing through them can lead to regret, especially if the relationship isn't built on a solid foundation. Why time matters. Studies from the Gottman Institute show that couples who wait at least a year before cohabitation report higher relationship satisfaction and fewer conflicts. Time allows you to see how your partner handles stress, finances, and daily routines, essential insights for long-term compatibility. A better approach. The 3-milestone rule. 1. Date exclusively for at least a year. 2. Spend 6 months discussing values, future goals, and finances. 3. Move in together only after addressing potential challenges like conflict resolution and shared responsibilities. Look for alignment. Ensure your values, priorities, and vision for the future align before making big commitments. Ask the tough questions. Before moving forward, ask yourself, if the relationship ended tomorrow, would I regret this decision? We've covered 9 powerful principles that can transform how you approach relationships and ultimately how you see yourself. From maintaining your individuality to setting boundaries and pacing life-changing decisions, these are not just rules for better relationships, they're guidelines for a better life. Here's what I want you to remember. Relationships should add value to your life, not take it away. They should enhance your happiness, not compromise it. The moment you start prioritizing your own mental health, self-respect, and growth, you'll notice a shift, not just in how others see you, but in how you see yourself. Your next step. Now it's time to take action. Think about which of these principles resonates with you the most. Which one are you ready to start practicing today? Share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your story. And if this video has inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Together, we're building a community of men who refuse to settle for less, who value themselves enough to demand better, and who are rewriting the rules of modern relationships. Your story is yours to write. Make it a masterpiece. Until next time, stay strong, stay true, and always remember, you're the star of your own life, not the supporting act in someone else's.